Oh no, I've lost my brakes. Hi guys, and welcome back to Grandpa Playing Games. Last time we left you in Derail Valley, we'd just done a freight haul from the harbour town to the food factory. And although we had a moral victory, we also incurred financial disaster as we ended up with very, very little funds after we had paid off the debts that we incurred from the damages that we caused along the way. So today's exercise is to do a series of shunting jobs to try to get back in the black. Can we do it? Well, as you know, things don't always go our way in Derail Valley, but we'll do our best. Stay tuned and watch how we go. So here we are at the station office, ready to pick up our first shunting job. This is going to require us to make 2 pickups. And we're going to load a train with bread, canned food, dairy and meat products, as well as cat food. If we're successful in doing it, we'll get around about $22,000, which is a nice sum of money. If we're able to do it in less than 48 minutes, then we'll also get a 50% bonus on top of that, some $11,000 on top. So let's get going. We need to run our train from where we left it around to the siding where we'll pick up the first of our loads. And that's located, we can see the train just there on the left. It's not very far. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with shunting jobs in Derail Valley, you'll find that what it normally does is causes you to go from one place to another a fair distance away, and then back again to where you started from, and then back again to the same place that you went before. You tend to zigzag a lot around here. So now we've run around and we're heading into the first siding to pick up our train. And it's located in C1S. So that's shunting yard C, track number 1, and S being for shunting. Okay, need to make sure it doesn't run away when we drive into it to couple up. Let's couple it up now. Connect the air hoses and open the brake valves. Okay, we need to release the handbrake, and also we've got to go all the way to the other end of the train and release the handbrake at that end as well. Here we go. And you'll see that we become quite familiar with this stretch of track over the next few shunting jobs. This is the main way that we get from the Yard C to Yard D, which is where the loading and unloading area is. Need to get past the points so that we can throw them across and head off to Yard D. Alright. In Yard D we need to couple up to some additional carriages. Oh, I need to slow down here. Oof. Judging the distance to the end of the train is not something I'm really good at. Especially with a long train like this. So we'll put the handbrake on this one and drive the rest of the train into it slowly this time. And then we'll couple it up. It should be about far enough. Okay, let's couple them together. Not forgetting to release the handbrake that we set just a moment ago. So it looks like we have to go all the way back to Yard C now in order to pick up another couple of carriages. So that should be our last pickup before we come back here to Yard D to go to the loading area. One thing that I'm not sure about is whether I can actually go and pick up the couple of carriages from Yard C, move them individually back to Yard D, and then couple them onto my long train, which would be a lot easier than moving the entire length of this train backwards and forwards between the two yards. But that's something I'll have to experiment with later on. I don't want to miss out on getting payment for the job by doing the wrong thing. Oh no, I've lost my brakes. Oh. Well, that's going to incur me in a lot of costs. More damages. Oh dear, at least I didn't derail, I guess. Oh, I don't know if my brakes were hot or my controls here failed. But oh, that's going to be expensive. Okay, let's go and delicately this time try and connect up to these carriages. So just take it nice and easy. Maybe a little late for that, but hey. Okay. Gently does it. That should be enough. Alright, let's couple them up. Okay, well, let's see what we can do to recover from here. We have to go all the way back to D now with the entire train and load up with goods. Hopefully we won't make a meal of all of those food products. Grandpa joke. Okay, bringing it into the loading yard now. Okay, positioning the train correctly within the loading area is really important. It's especially with a train of this length, it's so easy to go past the points at the other end and not be able to load it, but we seem to have been able to do it successfully. You can see the train's being loaded now, and we're ready to move on to the next step of the job. So we have to go to C50 all the way to Yard C again, but this time all we have to do is basically put on the handbrake once we get there and go and get our payment. Whether we've been able to do it within the allotted bonus time or not, well, that remains to be seen. We really need that bonus money, I think, to outweigh any of the damages that we caused by running into those carriages. When we started this job, it was bright daylight, and now it's night time, so it's not looking too good as far as the bonus time is concerned. Okay. Running the train into the final siding, C50. Okay, let's put the handbrake on, and before we uncouple, we'll go and see what reward we got for our efforts. Okay, we did get payment. But we did not get our bonus. We missed out by 3 minutes, which is a real shame. Let's have a look at the damage. Oh my gosh, look at all those fees. Well, on to the second job, I guess. We can only get better from here. Let's have a look at what damage we caused. Light damage. $18,000. So this time we'll pick up a job where we'll be unloading some food from C6I and unloading it at a D1L as per usual here at the food factory. After that we'll have a couple of drop-offs to do. If we're successful, we'll get 14k for the job, and of course if we're able to do it in under 32 minutes, we'll get an additional 7k as well. Now while that might not really get us out of much debt, at the same time it will serve a long way to paying off the $30,000 that we owe from our last shunting exercise. So this time we need to try to make sure we're a little more gentle. We'll just take our train and we'll put it into the siding there at C6I. And hopefully we'll be able to maintain our control over our speed and not slam into the carriages too hard and incur all the damages that we incurred previously. So here we are, we're creeping up on it this time, which is probably a better way of going. But obviously it's easier because we can see just how close we are away from the freight cars here. Okay, let's couple it up again. Put the chain link across. Put the chain link across. Tighten it up. And probably it's a good idea to connect the hoses before you open up the brake pipe valves. Because it makes it hard otherwise. But we succeeded in the end. Alright, let's go. Release the handbrake. This should all be relatively routine by now, but somehow we have a way of making the routine not routine. Okay, off we go towards D1L. So that was a pretty good start. We've coupled up. Now we're going to unload at D1L. And because we were fairly close to where we had to couple onto the cars, we haven't wasted a great deal of time. I don't know why most of my jobs seem to become available during the night time, but here we are at D1L and just bringing the train into the siding. Because it's a shorter train, it's a lot easier to judge when the entire train is contained within the siding, so we should have no problems in activating the loading and unloading machine. We can see the whole train is contained within the siding, which means that we can go ahead and unload it. And now on to the next step. So we need to go to D4S, which of course is only just a couple of tracks away from where we are now. And bringing it into D4S, that was pretty straightforward. No difficulties so far. But that changes pretty quickly in Derail Valley. Okay, we've uncoupled. Let's go and see if we get payment. Put the job in the validator. And no money. Why is that? Oh, the job is still in progress. Why is that? Maybe I didn't apply the handbrake. Okay, that's probably it. Still no money? What's wrong now? See, move cars from... Oh, that's not checked. Let's have a look at the job order. Okay. I forgot there were 2 drop-offs to do. So now we need to uncouple a few of the carriages and take them over to Yard C. Okay, the Yard C layout, so we know where we have to go. Just a matter of doing it. Hopefully we haven't wasted too much time. We still might get the bonus. So off we go again. I do hear some brakes. Yeah, brake pipe light is flashing, indicating brakes are on somewhere in the train itself. And this is why. I forgot to undo the handbrake here. Let's bring it into the siding, apply the handbrake, and hopefully this time go and get some money. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, what now? Yeah, that's all done. Everything's ticked, the cars have been moved. Oh. Okay, I see what the problem is. After I uncoupled these, I'd forgotten to apply the handbrake on the remaining carriages. Here we go. Yes, finally. We got some money, but I don't think, yeah, it took us 40 minutes to do a 32-minute job, so no bonus money for us. We have a look at our expenses. We've got enough money to pay off our fees, so let's do that. Yes, I know I could probably save money here if I did some manual maintenance, but sometimes it's just a lot easier and quicker to pay it as you go, so you can move on to the next job. So we've spent 30,000. We've managed to clear our fees. We've got $8,271 in the bank. So let's try to build on that with our next shunting job. This time it's a smaller job, only about 10,000, but there's not very many steps involved, so it should be fairly quick. Okay, let's learn from our past mistakes now. We're in the right siding, we're coupling to the right train. Let's just gently touch it and couple it up. Okay. Chain on, tighten the chain. Let's connect the brake hoses first this time and open the valves. Undo the handbrake. This should all be done even without thinking now. Just go to the end of the train and make sure that we don't have a brake applied there as well. Which we did, so it's a good thing that we were thorough. Okay, that's C4I coupled up. Now to unload at D1L. I'm sure you're all more than familiar now with the route which we get from yard C to yard D. Really trying to make sure that we make up for lost time and see if we can't get the bonus at least on this particular job. 1 out of 3 wouldn't be bad, eh? Okay, throw the points across. And let's head back to Yard D. Try and make sure that we maintain control of our speed so we don't have any difficulties this time, like we did in our first shunting job. Brakes are working. It's always a comforting thing. Here we are, headed into D1L once more. This time, quite a lengthy train, so judging it is going to be a little bit difficult. But hopefully we've got the experience now to be able to determine where we should leave the train in order for it to be fully contained within the siding. And this looks pretty good to me. A message, train is in range, means that we're good to go. So, offloading now. You can see the containers have been removed. Okay, let's go to the next step. We need to go and uncouple at D3S. Even though track number 3 is here in Yard D, we're still going to have to go out a fair way in order to be able to back into it, simply because our train is so long. And of course this time we'll try and make sure that we remember that we don't necessarily have to uncouple the whole train, but maybe just some of the carriages. Here we are at D3S. There's nothing else in the siding, so we're able to come into it at reasonable speed. Okay, these are the cars we've got to uncouple. Let's make sure we put the handbrake on this time on the cars that we're leaving behind. Go ahead, uncouple them. And see what's next. Okay, off to C9S now and drop off the remaining carriages. Well, I don't want to speak too early, but this job has been pretty buttery smooth so far. Maybe, as they say, practice really does make perfect. Whether it's perfect or not, well, I guess we'll see when we go to claim for the job. Okay, let's back the train up into Yard C. Uh-oh, there is another wagon here. I think what we'll do is we'll try to bump up against it and just push it slowly so that the rest of our train can fit into the siding along with it. I hope that we don't incur too much damage to the wheels, etc. in the process. At the moment we owe no fees, or none that we're aware of anyhow. So we want to minimise the damage this time around and maximise the profits. Okay. Handbrake on. So I didn't realise there was another drop-off still to make. Nearly made the same mistake as last time. Okay, back to Yard D, D4S, and drop off the remaining last 3 cars. And that should see the end of the job. So we need to be quick if we're going to make that bonus time. Okay, this time track D4S barely charging in, but the siding is clear, so we should be alright. Apply the brakes. Apply the handbrake. Whilst we're here, we may as well uncouple from the train. Okay. Now, the moment of truth. Hand the job in. And get our money. Not only did we get our money, we also managed to get our bonus. Well and truly. 35 minutes for a 51-minute job. Finally. Let's have a look at what damages. We've only incurred 4,000 odd in damages now. So let's pay that off. And we're going to finish with a substantial profit for the day. Well, we managed to pay off all of our debts and ended up with a healthy bank balance for our next Derail Valley adventure. Will we be able to save up enough to buy that rusty red devil we've had our eye on, the DH4 locomotive? Or will we become distracted by the other bright shiny toys that might become available to us? Easily tempted, this one is. Only time will tell, I guess. But as usual, thanks for watching, and join us next time as we continue our Derail Valley career on Grandpa Playing Games.